Right, hello everyone, I do believe we are underway. So, as per usual, actually for once I need to do a sound check because I'm not 100% sure, whereas if I'm talking. I am, perfect, I heard myself. So, as per usual, I will get everything set up, and these guys doing a few little practice laps around Autopolis, and qualifying will be underway, and then we can really start properly. But I'm just going to set everything up while we wait for a second, as they will get a stuck check underway very shortly. And yeah, we can begin. So today's stream going to be the season finale around Autopolis, the new track on Gran Turismo Sport. Very exciting to see that we have decided to end the season at the brilliant new Japanese track of Autopolis. A track which has proven to be very difficult for some people. It definitely has been a struggle for some people to learn just how it really flows, how they can get the hang of it. Very similar, in fact, to Brands Hatch, but in fact even more slippery than Brands itself, as it's very difficult to go full throttle around this track at basically any point. And we're going to be seeing a lot of spins, I'm expecting today. This track, very difficult to keep that Gr.2 car under control. And this will hopefully make for a very exciting final round of Season 1. Bellin and Alegna still locked in their duels as per usual, the two of them never really separating from one another. As we see time after time, just absolutely amazing watching those two go hammer and tong. We'll have to see if there's anyone who could challenge them. Of course, we had Apex Predator last round, very close to challenging the two of them, and in fact could have beat Bellin had it not been for Bellin opting onto that different strategy and eventually winning the race. As I continue to set things up, we're almost ready. I just gotta do stuff. There's so much stuff to do. I'm pasting links literally everywhere. So I've realised my thumbnail not quite up to standard. Oh, what a shame. Oh, why has this happened? It's alright. It's not atrocious. However, yeah, not 100% happy with that. However, it will do for the moment. Maybe I can quickly make a new one whilst this is going on. iRacing font. So basically for these thumbnails that we create, we use the exact same fonts that iRacing uses, yeah, when they're making their logos and stuff like that. So, come on Brownie, 100% on your side this time. Thank you, TJ Deacon. Lovely to see you, and lovely to see you as well, Hansa. Hansa, of course, racing in this finale. TJ Deacon, just one of my many fans. What, was that arrogant at all? Was that too far, Deacon? I'd like to think I have fans sometimes, as I've just realised I need to turn my keyboard on, as that will be essential for this race. We'll quickly just check a few things. Go to number 2. No, this. Oh, I haven't plugged the keyboard in, obviously. Oh, so it's like I'm Charlie Roscoe. There's so many technical difficulties going on here. Right, 5. There we go. Perfect. No more technical difficulties. Good afternoon, Cooper2K. Very nice to see you. Not 100% sure if I've seen you watching the International Gran Turismo League's Gr.2 races before, but if you have, if you haven't, very nice to see you and welcome. Hello, Terence Lewis. Very nice to see you as well. There's definitely some friendly faces. We love to see... Oh, Hooby is not doing well there. Oh. Right, let's do that. There we... Why is that stuck like that? There we go. Perfect. Hello, Alan. Hello, TJ. You're good today. Don't forget, words are hard. Words are very hard, TJ. You've been watching since round 6. Oh, AMS Cooper 2. I thought I recognised you. I knew I had recognised you. Oh, what a shame. Right, well, the stuck check should be getting underway very shortly. We are very close to it being ready. I'm pretty sure we may be waiting on one final person, but I'm not 100% sure. Supporting AMS Racer Tay, very nice to see you supporting your fellow teammates Cooper 2K. I myself, obviously, going to be supporting the RT guys. However, I will try to remain as impartial as possible when commentating these races, as obviously the commentator has to just be excited for absolutely everyone. I feel like I do an okay job of that. I feel like, obviously, last week we had Racer Tay racing around Catalonia, and I definitely bigged them up a little bit. Who is in this race, Brownie? Right, well, TJ, I will show you in a second, once I have done stuff that I still need to do. Why am I not focusing on this? Ooh, there's so much stuff here. Right. Season finale. That can go up there. No. Oh, God, this is so difficult. Right, what if we crop that? As you can tell, I'm not the greatest computer person, to be quite honest. What if we do that? And then none of you have any idea what I'm doing right now, but that just makes this even more exciting, to be honest. That you'll be able to see the final product and basically tell me how rubbish it is. But I tried my best, and oh my God, that is terrible. Right, we're just gonna forget that happened. Just type round 9 instead. Stick with the generic format and not muck around with anything. Right. Morning, Staniel. Very nice to see you. I'm just currently having a lot of difficulties setting stuff up, as per usual, because I'm not very good at this. Yeah. I like to think I'm good at this. Realistically, I know I'm not. I can do the commentating bit. I cannot do the preparation bit. As that's there, that goes there. That can go there. What? That's so irritating. What if we do that? Do that. Put that there. Move that up. Move that down. Move that up. What if we make that bigger? Put that right in the middle. What if we... Oh my God, this is so difficult. Right, the stuck check is underway. Right, I need to hurry. Perfect. Right, let's do that. Right, well, as you can see on the screen, we have a few people in this race. We have, I believe, Insta-C is on the way, so currently we have Wizard, Apex Predator, Bellin, Hansa, Nike Donna, Vitmaji, Hooby, Fubuki, Electa. Perfect. Luke Benally has decided not to join the stuck check for some reason. I don't know why, but he didn't. Perfect. Huh. Oh, I did it. Right. Copying stuff. Let's get this stuck check underway. Wizard leads from pole... Oh, they haven't started yet. Wizard leads from pole position. Apex Predator in second, right behind him. Bellin in second, already ahead of Apex Predator. There's people spinning off in the background. God, this is exciting stuff. And I'm missing all of it because thumbnails are hard. Oh no, that's not the right... Oh my God, why is this so difficult? Right, copy, paste. Paste, there we go. Right, save. Set, no, that's wrong. Oh, for goodness sake. Why is this so hard? This isn't normally this hard. Right. Well, quali is now going to be underway, so I need to hurry my ass up. Right. I think that has worked. Wait. There we go. That worked. Right. Save image. Unknown -1. That'll do. Let's go ERT. Thank you, Rory. Very nice to see you. Well, thunder going off. Yeah. Oh, well, this is going so well. Right. We'll view the guys as they go for qualifying. ERT Wizard first out of the pits. Let's see just how they do. As I quickly change the thumbnail yet again, because the original one was rubbish. There we go. Much better. That works. Right, hooray. Let's do this. Now I can focus purely on commentating. Right, Intercy is on the way. Perfect. Well, I will set up quickly. So we need to display the race info, and that is it really. Everyone on their outlap right now. Obviously the sprint race comes first. We have everyone on the hard compounded tyres. There's no tyre wear, there is no fuel wear, or fuel consumption, sorry. Everyone could just push entirely flat out throughout the entirety of this first race, which will be a 15-lapper. It's slightly longer than 20 minutes, as it is the season finale. We've decided to extend the races by about, I believe this one's extended by about 5 minutes, so this will end up being a 25-minute race, and the following race should be around 50 minutes. But Alegna gapping Wizard a little bit, so just hanging back so he can make sure he's not interrupted on his lap. As Wizard, the first person to cross the line, will cut to bonnet camera and see just how he does on his first flying lap, braking just after the orange on the barrier on the left-hand side to get the perfect run through that first corner. As he goes down this second straight, braking again around that orange barrier. You want to look for that change in colour as you really just let the car roll through this next section of corners. If you go too heavy onto the accelerator, you can easily spin up the rears too much in these cars. As Wizard taking a bit wide of a line through that hairpin, and now through this next corner, a very tricky corner to get right, as if you get on the power too fast, you'll end up in that grass on the right. If you don't put out enough power, you will go very slowly in comparison to guys around you. The next hairpin braking just before, or just after, sorry, the 100-meter board. And for this next corner, you want to brake around the 60-meter mark, so just before that 15 brake marker board. This corner staying tight to the apex, and again tight to the next apex. You really want to try to, well, keep to those apexes, but carry as much speed as possible. A very twisty and technical section, this, as you're constantly on and off the brakes and the accelerator, never really going full throttle throughout the entirety of this section. Wizard opting to stay tight to these final two corners, trying to get the optimal run through them. We'll have to see what sort of lap time he sets, and he comes across the line for a 1:38.2, a decent lap from Wizard. Alegna deciding to go a little bit quicker though, with a 1:37.9. Vitminji behind him, but oh my god, Apex Predator a full second ahead of everyone else. Apex Predator clearly come back for a little bit of payback. We remember, obviously, Apex Predator unfortunately losing out to Alegna and Bellin in the last round. He was very close to their pace that round and had a brilliant opportunity, and maybe he's come this round for a little bit of vengeance, maybe trying to challenge for that win and get his first win of the season. But Bellin currently in first position, about half a second ahead of Apex Predator, and Apex Predator, after losing the rear on this lap, definitely won't be on for a hot one. But currently, after the first set of qualifying laps, your top five is Bellin, Apex Predator, Alegna, Vitminji and Hubi. Hubi standing in for someone, I'm not 100% sure who. I will look it up and hope to actually find whoever it is. Substitutes. It's someone, anyway. It may be Racer Tay, I'm not 100% sure, but Racer Tay, well, seemingly not here right now, so very unfortunate that Racer Tay cannot join us. We'll see if they do at some point. I'm not 100% sure if that is who Hooby is replacing. But people now coming across the line for their second laps. Alegna moving up into second place right now. Only 3 tenths behind Bellin. Now, we know Bellin, a very fast qualifier in the Gr2 cars around this track after in a different league. He did claim 3rd position in his qualifying session ahead of many other brilliant drivers in teams such as TRL, Williams, AS Monaco, and many, many more. So he did a fantastic job there. And clearly, we know he's got pace around here on any compounder tyre, and we're going to have to see if he can replicate that qualifying pace from that GR2 session into this one. As we will look at ERT Wizard for once, getting a little bit wayward out of that corner. Wizard actually in the Lexus for once. So the reason for that is because he is actually... Oh, what is it? He's replacing someone. So essentially, Wizard had to drop out, I believe. But in the end has actually just remained racing through absolutely every race anyway. But he is in fact replacing someone else this round, which is why he is in the Lexus and not the same car as usual, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't get told all the facts, however, I am good at the talking apparently. So we'll read some of the comments. Ribs, nice to see you. Hello from the slow half. You're not the slow half, Ribs. You're just... not here? I didn't mean for that to sound mean. It's just you're not. I'm stating a fact, I guess. Hello, it's C. You're trying. Well, try harder. We need you here. If Apex Predator torpedoes anyone, are you calling an RKO out of nowhere? We could do that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's possible. As top 5 still staying the same. Hooby in fact moving ahead of Vitman G, so Vitman G the one on the cusp right now. We'll have to see just how. Missed the WWE reference. Yes, I did, TJ. I'm really sorry. I do not watch WWE. Oh, I feel really bad now. But yeah, currently the top 5 pretty much holding position. Wizard about 5 tenths adrift of Vitman G in 5th position, so has clearly got quite a bit of work to do if he wants to catch up to that position. And currently everyone seemingly setting up for what will most likely be their final qualifying lap. The few guys that have already crossed the pit line, or the start-finish line, have got enough time for 2 laps if they can really nail them. However, Wizard will be one of the first guys who can only do 1 lap, so this will be the final lap for ERT Wizard. We'll watch him and see just how he does. Where is Racer Tay? I have no idea, to be quite honest, TJ. Might be busy. I don't know. Life of teenagers. They have a lot of stuff on, I guess. That's understandable. I mean, I myself, as a university student, know that at times things can get very busy, and at times you can have absolutely nothing to do. It really just depends on the circumstance. It's unfortunate that Racer Tay can't be here. However, hopefully we can still provide some exciting racing, even without them. It's like you and uni. That is exactly what I said, TJ. You know me so well. Sometimes I have an unlimited amount of stuff that needs doing, and sometimes I'm just sitting there watching a Charlie Roscoe stream, not regretting life whatsoever. But currently, looking at that top 5, we have ERT Bellin doing a fantastic job in first position, 3 tenths ahead almost of ERT Alegna in second place. Alegna in that Nissan, obviously a man who's always competing for that win, and we'll have to see if the guy in third, Apex Predator, able to do the same, as Apex Predator and Hubi will both well, that will be the end of their qualifying session, in fact, as Hubi and I will just type quickly. Quali over finish lap. Perfect. We do have quite a good rapport. I like that, TJ. You do indeed. However, looking at your top 5 right now, obviously I've already gone through Bellin, Alegna and Apex Predator in third position. Hubi, in fact, 3/4 of a second behind Apex Predator, so not got quite the pace that the top 3 have, however still in that top 5 shootout. Vitminji very close behind Hubi in 5th position. Wizard will start in 6th place, Nike Donna in 7th, another replacement driver for this evening. Fabuki will start in 8th, Hansa in 9th, and Lukman Ali will start in 10th as... is he on an outlap? I believe Lukman is on an outlap, so Lukman going to be starting at the back this time. Is this the last race of the season? It is indeed, Alan. That is why the title says finale. How does one sign up for this? Basically, Max Bailey. Well, the season is about to end, so essentially you can join the Discord and try to sign up. How that will work is you'll go essentially through a qualifier stage if it works, same as last time, where it will be sort of like similar to GTSRL in seasons that you have done before. You'll be put through time trials, or a singular time trial, and it will put you in a specific league. Sometimes we will bump people up into Lobby A, depending on how their season in Lobby B is going. But generally, how it works is everyone will, do the time trials, and they will qualify for each individual lobby that way. But we now have that top 5 shootout. I'm not sure if we have a stuck check first or whether Wizard just changes the time. I've completely forgotten. I'm guessing he just changes the time. Unless we have one last stuck check. Not 100% sure, but either way, Bellin, Alegna, Apex Predator and Hubi and Vitminji, all of them qualifying for the Super Bowl session. First down to 5th place. They will now have one lap in which none of their previous times... Oh, like Donna unfortunately having to leave. Very unfortunate there, but he does wizardry things. He does indeed, TJ. Joker lap will be between lap 3 and 13. I don't know why Wiz is saying that now, because we still need to do Super Pole. Wiz, if you're listening, we need to do Super Pole. Wizard Egan, Super Pole. Right. Soup. Wait, should we put... Let's do this. Super Pole. Perfect. Super Bowl is underway, guys. We now have the top 5 shootout between Bellin, Hubi, Alegna, Apex Predator and Vitminji, as they do their each individual laps, seeing who can set the Wizard doesn't want soup. Okay, well, great English butchery. Thank you, TJ. This is me in a nutshell. Hi Hippie, very nice to see you. Very nice to see you indeed. We have got the finale for you. I was listening to Activision's podcast while cooking, totally missed the notification, lol. Fair enough, Hippie. I mean, realistically, if you were cooking, I understand. I did a little bit of cooking on Thursday for the first time in a very long time. I made some pasta. I very rarely cook because I live with my parents. who do the majority of cooking for me. But anyway, enough about me and the fact that I'm a terrible cook. We have Apex Predator on his outlap right now, preparing for his Super Pole lap. Of course, Super Pole, as you should all know by now, as this is the season finale, where everyone has an individual lap, where they're all trying to go faster than one another, seeing who gets the fastest lap and claims pole position. So essentially all of the previous pole positions or qualifying times are irrelevant right now for this top 5. The guys behind them, 6th down to 10th, will stay the exact same as they are not a part of this Super Pole session. However, anything within the top 5 is still up for grabs, and of course with this being such a slippery Brands Hatch-like track, anything can happen. People can go off very easily. As we will now cut to bonnet camera of Apex Predator and watch him go underway for his qualifying lap. We know just how fast Apex Predator can be. He's been brilliant the past few rounds, in fact, and has really been closing that gap to the top 2 of Alegna and Bellin, bringing the fight to them a little bit, especially in that feature race where he'll typically start slightly ahead and can build up a very nice gap, and it would be brilliant to see him in that fight for first position. He was in the fight last round, however not quite able to capitalise on his position fully, and Alegna and Bellin either with superior strategy or superior pace overall. But now Apex Predator, that last corner he did a little bit wide off the apex, but still carrying good momentum. 50.4 that sector, that is very decent. Not perfection, as I said, he hasn't perfected all the apexes here. However, currently still doing a very nice job of the lap. A little bit wide of the apex again, in fact, tapping the grass on the exit. That's not going to help his momentum coming through these next few corners. Getting a little bit sideways, and he's completely mucked up that corner. That's going to lose him quite a bit of time there. And we'll have to see if he's able to recover it in these final few corners. He'll be aiming for that top 3 at minimum to try and reclaim his spot as a solid podium positioner. As a little bit sideways through the final corner, but he's coming across the line now, setting a 37.4, a very decent lap there. Alegna now coming across the line to 36.8, very nice there from Alegna. Hubi is next up, a 37.7, I believe. And Vitminji now rounding the final 2 corners. 1 corner left after this, however that corner pretty much obligatory after the very long right-hander. And Vitminji coming across the line just ahead of ERT Hubi and behind Apex Predator. ERT Bellin, the last one, he's going purple right now and moves dead ahead of ERT Alegna, a similar gap to the gap he had in the initial qualifying session of around 2 to 3 tenths. A brilliant job from Bellin, as I'm pretty sure I've seen him go into that wall before. But fantastic from Bellin, claiming that pole position as he did in the previous qualifying session. Really unfortunate that Apex Predator couldn't quite manage to challenge the top 2, with having a few little moments on his lap. However, still qualifying in 3rd position. But looking at the top 5, we have Bellin in 1st position, Alegna claiming 3rd, Apex Predator, or Alegna in 2nd, sorry, Apex Predator in 3rd, Vitminji in 4th, and Hubi in 5th. So in fact, the only 2 people swapping positions in this Super Pole session compared to the original qualifying session is Vitminji and ERT Hubi, swapping around in 3rd and 4th, or 4th and 5th, sorry, positions. Both of them were very close to one another in the original qualifying session, and yet again within a tenth of one another in this Super Pole. So definitely expecting a good fight between the 2 of them for that 4th position. Maybe they can try and challenge Apex Predator ahead, maybe even the top 2 if mistakes happen, which undoubtedly they will around such an amazing track. Brownie, would I be correct by assuming each participant is on a wheel? Yeah, I think they're all on the wheel. I know Doc said that Bellin's on the T300 and Alegna's on the TGT. I'm not sure about Hansa. I think Hansa's on a wheel. Not 100% sure on that. I know the top 5 are. Wait, is Hubi on a wheel? Of course Hubi's on a wheel. What am I talking about? Fubuki just got a wheel. Lookman's always had a wheel. Hansa, yeah. Wizard, yeah. Apex Predator, not 100% sure about, but I'm pretty sure he's got a wheel. Same with Hitman G. So yeah, everyone here has a wheel. As Nike Donna just saying, sorry guys, had to run out, gutted, family emergency, in my car driving now. Well, Nike Donna, it's really unfortunate that you weren't able to make this race, and I hope your family is okay. But most importantly, don't text and drive! They can link you to the crime now! But anyway, really unfortunate that you can't be here to race with us, Nike Donna. Hopefully we can see you in the next season. Season 2, which I'm expecting will happen, obviously. And we'll have to see what... Well, just what happens. As a couple of people talking about the iRacing event going to happen soon. The Nürburgring 24 hours, I believe? But yeah. It'll be interesting. I think I personally would not want to drive around the Nürburgring for 24 hours. I know obviously there are driver switches. However, it sounds like absolute hell having to drive around that track for so long. The concentration you're going to have to keep. However, in my opinion, it probably would be slightly more exciting than racing at any other track. But anyway, ignoring that for a minute, we have the season finale underway now. Race number 1, the sprint race of the season finale around Autopolis. Let's get ready for what I'm sure will be an absolutely amazing season finale, in which our drivers are going to be hammer and tong throughout the entirety of this race, I'm sure. But looking at the grid, we have Belin and Alegna on that front row, as per usual. Apex Predator and Vitmiji following along on that second row, with ERT Hubi rounding out the top 5. We'll have to see just how they do. The people behind them seemingly a little bit further away from their pace. It's definitely going to be interesting to see just how everyone does around this tight and twisty track. And they're underway. Belin leading the way towards turn 1. The Honda typically getting quite a good start. He's already moving to that inside to defend. However, it doesn't seem like he's needing to defend. Moves back over to the racing line. Apex Predator, in fact, looking down the inside of ERT Alegna after getting a good start off the line. And it seems Apex Predator right down that inside could be challenging Alegna early on for that second position. Apex Predator still down the inside, and ERT Alegna nowhere to go. Apex Predator claiming second position, clearly looking for a bit of payback, and currently he's got a bit of it. Up into second position so far for Apex Predator. A fantastic little start there from him. And we'll have to see if he's able to challenge Belin now, or whether Belin's going to streak ahead, and it'll definitely be interesting to see. Obviously Belin with fastest lap in both the qualifying and the Super Pole. We know he's brilliant around this track. However, Apex Predator has been on fire recently, and it would be brilliant to see just how he does around this track. Looking at the rest of the grid, it seems like everyone else has held position for the lap, so the only overtake so far has been Apex Predator on ERT Alegna. Now, this track, very difficult to get any sort of overtaking done, as all these tight and twisty corners, it's very difficult to actually get not only alongside but make any sort of move. It's very easy to defend around here as well, as long as for example Apex Predator holds that inside line going into this next corner, he will be absolutely set that he will be able to hold on to the position, as very, very difficult to go around the outside going into turn 1, almost impossible. And there aren't really many other overtaking opportunities around here, with maybe going into turn 2 a possibility, and the hairpin the final one realistically. But other than that, gonna have to wait for a mistake, as it's so difficult not only to overtake here, but just to follow along with the drivers ahead. The dirty air plays a massive factor around here, as the dirty air obviously affecting how early you can get on the throttle, and this track already really difficult to get on that throttle at any point around the track. Obviously, through these tight sections, such as after turn 2 of this track, it's so difficult to actually maintain good throttle control. As ERT Alegna, as you can tell, in that dirty air earlier, wasn't able to really gain on Apex Predator whatsoever, and Apex Predator currently holding about an 8/10 gap to ERT Alegna, so doing a fantastic job. However, Bellin really stretching his legs and pulling away from the both of them, in fact. And Bellin currently holding a 1.5 second lead over Apex Predator. He's definitely trying to stretch his muscles early and get a move on. Make sure that he can't be challenged by Apex Predator, Alegna, or anyone behind them at any point in this race. However, with that increased speed comes that increased risk. It's very difficult to keep the car on track at all times around this track. But currently all the drivers doing a pretty good job of it. Everyone has stayed on track and has been doing well so far. And although we haven't had as many overtakes as we normally do on the opening few laps, it's been good to see that everyone keeping things clean, keeping things on track. And it'll be interesting to see just how the fight emerges later on at this race. As yes, TJ Deacon, just reading the comments for a second. Essentially, this is a sprint race. The 15 lapper is where everyone is just going flat out, no tyre wear, no fuel consumption. Everyone is just completely going for it, not worrying about how much fuel they're saving or their tyres dropping off a cliff. They're just going flat out the entirety of the race, trying to push to the absolute maximum for that 15 lapper. However, of course, they do have the Joker lap at some point in this race. Joker lap will come into play very shortly, actually. However, we do expect the majority of people to come in for that Joker lap reasonably late, with ERT Alegna, in fact, opting to go for it quite early. The earliest possible opportunity has been taken there from ERT Alegna. Now, it could be interesting to see whether he comes out in traffic or not, which could definitely play a factor later on in his race. As I said before, very difficult to get any sort of overtaking done around this track. And we'll have to see if Apex Predator follows suit later on, or whether he thinks he can just hold a good enough pace to keep ahead of ERT Alegna as soon as Apex Predator comes into the pits. But this is really where the strategy element comes into things. We'll look ahead now at ERT Hooby, one of the new guys to the league, of course. Hooby not able to commit to a full-time role as he is another child, we'll call him. He essentially doesn't quite have the time that some others have, as homework and things like that get in the way quite often. But currently doing a nice little job there, was in that super pole session and currently holding 4th position, 1.3 seconds behind Vitminji, so looking to challenge him later on in the race. ERT Wizard 2.3 seconds back from Hooby, doing a nice little job himself, just missing out on that super pole session. And we'll have to see if he's able to challenge the guys currently in 3rd and 4th later on in this race. See if any mistakes come into things. Of course, I did say that quite a few mistakes will be had around this track. However, we haven't really witnessed many so far. I believe we had one earlier on from one of the guys at the back. However, the majority of people at the front have been keeping things on track. And Hooby, in fact, opting to go for his Joker lap already, so maybe thinking similar to Alegna that he's got the pace to get ahead of Vitminji later on in the race. And Hooby emerging in 6th position behind Alegna, behind Wizard, and behind Vitminji, with Fubuki also opting to come for his Joker lap. Now, that may have been so that Fubuki wouldn't have had to deal with Alegna, who obviously always fighting for those top positions, and Fubuki wouldn't want to be holding him up, wouldn't want to be jeopardising his own race as well. But this is definitely turning into a battle of the tactics. Of course, we have ERT Bellin currently leading the way in first position, doing a fantastic job, holding a 3.1 second gap to Apex Predator. In fact, a gap that's increasing every single lap. So doing a fantastic job there so far, Bellin. The Honda should be good around this track. Obviously, a very aerodynamic car, as online features are unavailable as the PlayStation Network server could not be reached. Hopefully that doesn't come into play. Oh, okay, the flashing error message is gone. Oh, that worried me. Oh, my heart. Anyway, Bellin currently doing a fantastic job in that Honda. The Honda's typically known to be a little bit better on these tracks, which are more suited to aerodynamic cars. Similarly, you have tracks like Brands Hatch, where of course the Honda would thrive as well. Very similar to that in nature. As Bellin getting a little bit sideways coming out of turn 1, as he did clip the grass, however keeping the car very nicely under control, as he's definitely pushing the limits but not going over them so far. So doing a nice little job there so far is ERT Bellin. As unfortunately, looking back, we do have Hansa currently in the grass. Very unfortunate for Hansa, seemingly the person with the main incident so far, as Hansa, yet again spinning out a little bit, trying to get his car under control, stamping onto the accelerator slightly too early. We'll check the replay, see just what happened there. Hopefully the replays work now. They do indeed. Replays are saved, thank God. So we'll just see Hansa coming around that corner and clipping the grass ever so slightly on the outside. Very unfortunate for Hansa, setting his car into many, many spins there, as Hansa still unable to recollect his car. Very difficult to do so at this track, as unfortunately people will try to slam that accelerator on as early as possible to recover, as frustration will of course kick in. However, realistically, you want to just keep it nice and cool. Try to slowly plant that accelerator down again, as you don't want to be spinning out again, as Hansa has unfortunately done, losing yourself even more time. But currently, people yet to come in for their Joker laps are Bellin, Apex Predator, Vitminji, and Olegna. Very interesting in that Wizard actually opting to come into the pits now. So Wizard will emerge just behind Hubi, I expect. Yes, we'll check that quickly. Yep, Wizard just behind, well, 10 seconds behind Hubi, so clearly may have had either a little bit of a fight with Olegna, or just losing time in general, maybe with a small mistake. But currently Wizard sitting in 6th position. No one's really close right now on track. Normally at this point in a race we will have a few battles, however people are seemingly a little bit more spread out than normal. This track obviously very new to Gran Turismo Sport, and the levels of practice people would have had around this track is going to vary massively. Bellin, Olegna, Hubi and Wizard each having another endurance race that they had done at some point around this track. Apex Predator and Vitminji, I do not believe have had any sort of endurance race around this track yet, so it will be a first for them going into the feature race, and we'll have to see how they do. But currently doing a fantastic job in the sprint race, holding 2nd and 3rd position. Olegna and Hubi may have something to say about that later on when they come in for their Joker laps, but currently doing a fantastic little job. We'll look back to see Lukman Ali. I thought that was Lukman directly behind Fabuki, but I believe that is Hansa. But Lukman, obviously someone who got promoted recently into Lobby A after a few fantastic performances. He had that highlight of 5th position last round at Catalunya, doing a fantastic job in his Nissan in the Tiger livery, which we often see him run on many of his cars. But currently Lukman not having the race he would have wanted just yet, sitting in 8th position. Lookman typically known to save quite a bit of fuel during the race. And we'll have to see if that comes into effect in the feature race. However, TJ Deacon and Hippie talking about Legner. Yeah, Legner did come in on lap 3. Did I say that he didn't at some point? Whoops. I didn't mean to. Either way, we'll look at Legner for a second. Rapidly catching up to the back of Vitmin G, in fact. 4 seconds separating the two. They definitely seem to be the closest on track right now, so we definitely should follow along with this. Obviously, people still to come into the pit lane for their Joker lap include Bellin, Apex Predator and Vitmin G, the guys in the top 3 positions right now. And none of them seemingly going into the pits anytime soon either. However, they do need to do so on lap 13 or before, as it is essential that the Joker lap comes into play at some point. Nice to see you, ERT Random. Very nice that you can join us for this season finale around Autopolis. As currently Legner slowly closing up to the back of Vitmin G. Doing a fantastic job in his Nissan. Hasn't been closing up to the back of Bellin, however, as Bellin still with that fastest lap, still just been stretching his legs a little bit and holding on to what would still be a net first position. It'll be interesting to see where Apex Predator comes out in relation to ERT Legner, as seemingly the two of them are going to be very close when they come out, when Apex Predator comes out of the pits. However, Legner has been setting some decent laps and has been closing up ever so slightly to Apex Predator. Of course, Apex Predator was ahead of Legner going when Legner went into the pit lane. So it definitely could end up being side by side when Apex Predator opts to go for his Joker lap. The birds are cheerful here. Oh, indeed, Random. I'm hearing them a little bit now, in fact. You can just hear in the background a few little birds chirping away. Is chirping the word? I believe it is. We love the birds at Autopolis. As currently Legner 2 seconds behind Vitmin G. The gap has been closing very rapidly. Closed about 1.5 seconds on that last lap, so Legner really starting to put the pressure on Vitmin G, even though realistically they are not in a fight with one another. As Vitmin G still to come in for the Joker lap and has to do so within the next 3 laps. But currently the gap has closed by half a second already during only the first 2 sectors of this lap, so Legner really starting to let Vitmin G know that he is on the way. And he is looking to get past as quickly as possible, as he's really in the hunt for that second position. Vitmin G in the foreground of your screen right now, with Legner coming across directly behind, 1.3 seconds behind, now 1.1 seconds behind, so really catching up now is Legner as they come through the final sector of the track. 1 second separating the two of them. Legner getting a slightly nicer run as Bellin opting to come in for his Joker lap, as well as Apex Predator, so things could get interesting here. Legner will have a little bit of dirty air coming around this final corner. That could play a factor in this. And we'll have to see if Vitmin G opts to go into the pits. Vitmin G does indeed go into the pits for the Joker lap. As Apex Predator now coming out of the pits, it's going to be close between the two of them. Legner and Apex Predator side by side, but Legner seemingly going to swoop ahead, going into turn 1. Just about moves ahead. However, Apex Predator still right on the rear, looking for a move on Legner. Both of them in equal machinery, both of them in the Nissan. Apex Predator deciding not to go for anything just yet, sticking behind Legner and sticking in 3rd position. However, the two of them so close. Only half a second really separating the two of them. And this could evolve into a very nice little battle here. What is the time loss with the Joker? Unfortunately, I had no idea, TJ. However, it seemed as though it was around, as Alan has said, around 15 seconds. as Apex Predator looking down the inside of so slightly, as Alegna went a little bit wide off the Apex, however not able to go for anything just yet. Not a big enough gap arising, so gonna have to wait for a better opportunity here. However, it seems Alegna has been mighty in this final sector, so we'll have to see if Apex Predator are able to hold on to the rear of him, hold on to that slipstream, and possibly try to go for a move into turn 1. Apex Predator with a slightly better run through those corners. However, Alegna with the better run through these final few corners. Around 7/10 the gap now. So Apex Predator really on the edge of that slipstream currently. With slipstream obviously being around 8/10. Definitely right on the limit there. 7.5/10 between the two of them. As Apex Predator definitely not close enough to go for any sort of move. However, still in that slipstream range and still within touching distance of Alegna. That will give him hope going around these next few laps. And with only 4 laps remaining, he is running out of overtaking opportunities. However, anything can happen on 4 laps, and with the amount of pressure that Apex Predator is applying on ERT Alegna, anything can happen. Gap currently 7/10 as they go towards the hairpin in the middle of the track. Apex Predator running a little bit deep into the corner, and Alegna getting a slightly better exit. However, Apex Predator in that slipstream gaining ever so slightly, but not getting a great run through that corner just there, as Alegna just moving out of the slipstream range. However, Apex Predator now moving back into the slipstream range. It's really back and forth here as to whether or not they are actually in that slipstream range. As hello, can't shake the cliche. Very nice to see you watching the stream today. Apex Predator really right on the limit of that slipstream. 9/10 now, so Alegna has managed to break it ever so slightly. However, Apex Predator very close to it, and is in fact gaining down this back straight. So could move back into the slipstream by the time he reaches turn 1. Very close to the slipstream right now. He'll really want to stay in that slipstream if he wants to have any opportunity of gaining that second place. However, Alegna getting a much better run through turn 1. And it seems as though Apex Predator just out of the slipstream. He's going to have to push if he wants to regain that slipstream that ERT Alegna is offering directly behind him. The gap extending ever so slightly through this first 2 sectors. 1.2 seconds now the gap between the two of them, so Alegna gaining around 3/10 through those first 2 sectors. And Apex Predator unfortunately doesn't look as though he's got quite enough pace to challenge Alegna. It's really unfortunate, as Alegna with a slightly superior Joker lap strategy coming out on top after Apex Predator had that brilliant move into turn 1, which has in fact been the only real overtake we have seen all race long, as Autopolis doesn't always make for the most exciting racing. As I said before, very difficult to go for any sort of overtaking manoeuvre, as although the car is very difficult to handle, when people are able to handle them, as we can see in this race here with Alegna and Apex Predator, and the majority of the drivers here in general, there isn't quite as much action, as often people will just go at their own pace, not push the car too much, as it's very easy to just go off and lose about 20 seconds as you're lost into the walls and sometimes into the gravel, which can be very unfortunate, can be an entire race ruiner. As Apex Predator, I'm sure he won't be happy with 3rd place after being in 2nd for so long. However, it's nothing to laugh at, a 3rd position in this race, beating such drivers as Hubi and Vitamin G, who've done a fantastic job as well. And currently Apex Predator really challenging Alegna and Bellin, so he's definitely been upping his game these last few weeks, doing a fantastic job in these last few rounds. We would normally associate him with that third position, however he would normally be in contention for that third position with the likes of Vitamin G and Axel and many others that we have seen before. However, now Apex Predator securing himself in that third position and looking to go even further in these last few races. He's been doing a fantastic job and really has been trying to bridge that gap between that third place fight to the top two, and he's been doing so magnificently. He's really upped his game, upped his pace, and has been doing a fantastic job. As we move on to the final lap, 1.7 seconds the gap between Alegna and Apex Predator, sorry. As we'll look ahead to the current race leader of ERT Bellin, 7 seconds the gap to Alegna behind. Bellin has been doing a fantastic job in that Honda, as the Honda definitely suiting this tight and twisty track, as it's able to really skate around the corners, which can help massively when you're trying to carry as much speed as possible. And currently Bellin, well, he's been doing that to perfection here, really. We'll watch on his bonnet camera. That's not the bonnet camera, that's the bonnet camera, as he goes through the final few corners of this sprint race. Just watching the lines that he takes as he brings it home for that first position. I really hope I'm not commentators cursing him right now and he's going to end up spinning out. But it seems as though Bellin, with the car completely under control, doing a fantastic job, and is going to be taking the first race victory. Fantastic job from Bellin. Coming around the final few corners, getting a little bit sideways, as you'd expect Bellin to do in celebration, as he always ends up doing. He's drifting around everywhere. Hopefully he ends up in the pit wall so that I can laugh at him, but he hasn't. And Bellin claims that first position in the sprint race. Alegna's going to come home for second place, just ahead of Apex Predator, who unfortunately will have to settle with third place. However, can take some positives from it that he was able to challenge Alegna for that second, and has done a fantastic job there. Hubie now comes through the corners for fourth place, getting that undercut with the Joker lap on Vitamin G, who comes home in fifth. Fabuki, in fact, is going to come home for sixth place. A lovely little job there from Fabuki, moving ahead of Wizard, who unfortunately had a bit of a mistake there himself, as we were a little bit busy watching the fight between Apex Predator and Alegna. Wizard will come home for 7th position. Lukman Ali seemingly will come home for 8th, with Hansa coming home in 9th place, a lap down from them. But looking at your race, Victor, it's been Bellin. It's been the man who was completely in control for that entire race. He claimed pole position in the normal qualifying. He claimed pole position in the Super Pole. He's been doing a fantastic job the entire race, keeping things on track, keeping the pace as high as he can without making any sort of mistake. He's done absolutely amazing in his Honda. As Nike, if you can make it home for the next race, it is absolutely fine that you join. We know that you had that family emergency, and I believe we will have a short break anyway. We'll just see if you do end up making it back in time. I'm not 100% sure myself. But looking at your race, Victor, it is ERT Bellin claiming that pole position, fastest lap, and the clean race bonus that we love to see. A fantastic job there from Bellin. 7 seconds ahead of his nearest challenger of Alegna. You don't normally see that big of a gap between the two of them. Really emphasising just how good of a job Bellin really did in that race. Of course, Apex Predator and Alegna having a brilliant little fight there themselves for that second place. Hubie getting that brilliant undercut on Vitamin G, claiming the top 5 position himself, so still doing a fantastic job. Fabuki coming home for 6th, ahead of Wizard in 7th, Lukman Ali in 8th, and Hansa down in 9th. Fantastic job from the racers. And hopefully the feature race can be even more exciting. So we already know that the feature race is going to be a reverse grid, which is not only going to bunch the field up, but it's really going to make the entire race a little bit more exciting, as this is such a difficult track to overtake on. Everyone's going to be defending every position that they have, as anything can happen. Very difficult to go for any sort of overtaking move around here, so everyone will be defending absolutely every single position that they have in the hopes that they can claim a podium, possibly. Well, anyone can be in contention for a podium around this track with a good defense, essentially. As I said many times, very difficult to overtake around here. Hello Matt Harris, very nice to see you. Thank you for the compliment. I'm going to call, so I can't shake the cliche, I'm going to call you CSTH. Or, yeah, that works, CSTH. Because there are way too many syllables, and yeah. But now, as you can see from the settings for the feature race, a 29 lap race, so this will be slightly longer than your average. Cliche will do, man, cliche works. As we have a 10-minute break before the next race. But as you saw from the settings there, 4 times fuel, 8 times tyre wear on a 29 lap race. Going to be an interesting one to watch. As there are a few drivers on track, which normally there aren't at this point, so thankfully we can have someone to watch. We'll watch for Buki, who claims that 6th position, and hope that, well, he'll be hoping he can claim an even higher position going into this next race. So, yes, as you have said, TJ, I will tell Wiz that Nike is coming for the feature race. Yeah. Perfect. Ah. Hi, Wiz. You already saw. Hi. Whoops. I forget that you watch the streams sometimes. I just figure I have to talk to you. Yeah, 9. Ich liebe you. I don't actually know what that means. I'm gonna Google. Am I back? Okay, I may have just unplugged my my microphone. Ich liebe. Thank you, Alegna. Google Translate. Yeah, I may have just unplugged my microphone for a very short moment there. Das ist nicht gut. I don't understand German, even though I did it for A-level. Ich liebe means... why am I translating to Bosnian? To English. Ich liebe... I am in love. I am in love... Wait, what's dig? I really hope it's not what I'm saying. Dig? I am in love you. Okay, perfect. Coming to F up a turn 1 near you soon. Oh, perfect, Apex Predator. I look forward to watching you absolutely destroy everyone. Das ist nicht gut. What shit? I don't speak German. Why is this happening? Right, what else can I say in German? Right, let's go the other way around. As this, realistically, this is the point where I'm just having a little bit of fun with the guys because... Oh, actually, why have I not thought of this earlier? Let's plug in the wheel and see just how bad I am at driving again. So we saw last week that I had a small go in those GR2 cars, around Catalonia, and I was atrocious. So, let's do the exact same thing again real quick, and see just how bad I am again. Don't drop, that's life, you know it, Wiz. Right. Sorry for the short intermission, while I quickly turn stuff on. I don't need this. Right. That'll do. So I always choose the Nissan because it's simply the most stable of all the cars. However, on racing mediums, should we go? Let's go cockpit camera. No one ever uses cockpit camera on this game. I mean, there's a reason for it, but let's do it. Let's sit. Oh, Fubuki, no. Well, none of this is going. I just wanted a nice clean lap. As Fubuki giving me front damage. Yep, none of this is going well. I mean, I should have expected this, really. Yeah. As everyone is just... Yep. Okay, break away, break away, break away. As Nike Donna has returned. Perfect. Nice to see you again, Nike. Oh my god. Okay, cockpit camera is not helping me out here whatsoever. Maybe we'll go to my usual camera. There we go. That works much better. Oh, I forgot to brake. I forgot that. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. I've got total engine damage. Right. Okay. This is just what I expected to happen in these races. Let's go back in the pits and hopefully they all forget I exist really quickly. Nope, Wizard is following me. Oh no. Exact, last to push that up in Kluft. Yep. Gad ist something Decker with mein Männerweg, Männecker. Yep. Is that German? Is that Belgian? Is that Swiss? No, none of the guys here speak Swiss. Everyone enter. Why? Oh, you're kidding me. What's happening? Oh, Wiz is just setting the grid. He's not actually about to start the race with me in it, thankfully. So, see if I've learnt anything from watching these guys. It doesn't seem like I have. I still have no idea how to drive GR2 cars, as you can clearly see. I've not exactly been doing a great job at any point here. However, I did nail the braking zone there, I'm pretty sure. However, this corner, I have no idea where to brake for still. I know I said just before the 50, around the 60. A little bit wide of the apex, but I've done it slightly. I have no idea how to brake for these corners, though. As you can see, I'm just drifting absolutely everywhere. As chicken in that... Why am I reading speech at the same time as driving? None of this is going well. This is why I am the commentator and don't even do that much driving. Oh my god, this is... See, this is just how slippery this track really is. You can watch me, someone who's not exactly... Well, no, I'm a terrible GR2 driver, to be honest. I don't feel at one with the car whatsoever. But you can really see just how little grip there is around this track. It's atrocious. Like, I can't control the car whatsoever. As soon as I plant my foot to the floor, you've really got to manage the throttle all the way around these corners, and it can be absolute hell, to be honest. As in fact, I just went purple. Oh my god! Oh my god, I'm so good at this game! As I just realised, I don't even have cones on or anything. And currently... Oh my god, I'm so good at this! Right, this is actually pretty decent, guys. I'm not even going to look at the comments for once. I've definitely not done that corner correctly. However, on the exit, riding the grass a little bit, but doing okay, carrying a good enough speed. So towards this next corner, braking at that board, getting a nice run through there, getting the power planted quite early. We're doing well so far. This next corner, I know I need to brake a little bit earlier than I did before, so we'll brake just about there. I've forgotten to turn in entirely. as this next one, trying not to ride the curb too much, as that's what I did last time. Still riding it quite a bit though, clearly, as I don't learn whatsoever. Braking to second gear, trying to stop it in time. We have stopped it in time, so that worked out in the end. As coming through the final few corners, trying not to bottle it towards the end. Oh my god, oh come on, oh please work. Right, we come across the line, we set a 38.5. I'm a brilliant driver, it's official. I'm only 2 tenths slower than Apex Predator, who almost finished ahead of Alegna. I can retire now. Woohoo. Oh my, yep, that's it. We're spinning out, I don't even care. We did it. Yeah, boy. 38.5, I'll take it. That was an absolutely shocking lap. However, I'll take it. I did well enough. And now we will never drive again, as it's not only the end of the season, but is the end of my racing career in general. I am done racing. Good night, guys. Bye. I'm kidding. Right. Oh, I need to turn the keyboard on again and everything, don't I? Oh, that was so exciting. You don't get live track guides in F1. Everyone else is on hards, but don't... Oh. Oh, you're kidding me! Wait, no, they can't be. Are they on hards? Apex Predator is on... No, Vitmajid's on mediums, and Apex Predator's on hards. But I'm ahead of Hooby, who's also on hards. And Fabuki, who's also on hards. Yeah, well, stop judging me! I think I did well. I got purple in Sector 1. That means I am in my prime, okay? Like, this... Oh, I was doing so well till right at the end there, where I pretty much entirely bottled the lap. Oh, what a shame. I still think I did okay. I stayed pretty tight to most of those apexes. I did okay. Nice to see you, Crazy. Terrence, you haven't talked in so long, and all of a sudden you decide to say lol. Thank you very much. I'm not sure if that's towards my driving. You did well for an impromptu lap. Exactly, TJ. I did... Oh, you're fast. I have trouble with this car. Oh, wizard. Right, we are about to get underway with the final race of the entirety of the GR2 season. Season 1. The feature race around Autopolis. The final race of the whole season. Let's look at how the grid lines up. First place, we have Hansa starting on pole. Luke Manali in second, with ERT Wizard in third place. Wait, we're missing someone. We're missing Vitman G. Nike Donald will be starting from the back, with Bellin and Alegna just ahead of him. As, yep, Vitman G forgot to join, so we're gonna have to restart. I'm guessing, yeah. Thought so. As everyone leaving the lobby, people deciding to go spinning out, treating this as a stuck check. Don't bite thunder, you are a driving god. Thank you, Matt. I think I am as well. You did better than what I would do. Thank you, Terrence. I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not. You could quite literally have 0 driver rating, and you could just say that I am worthy of 10 driver rating. But I'll take that. That's good enough for me. As everyone now joins yet again. Who's coming out of the pits? It is Hooby. We'll watch Hooby because I don't like watching people who are in the pits. Where's my remote? There's my remote. There we go. As I need to turn the keyboard. Oh, I need to switch. Oh, that's why, because I plugged my wheel in. Obviously. As controller disconnected. Oh, no, that's the other controller. Right, okay. We're all good. Everything is set up again. Perfect. As hopefully Vitman G decides to join the race this time. As we are now getting underway yet again for the final race of this season. The finale, round 9, the feature race. The final race of the Gr2 Season 1. So exciting. I've already said all of this already, but whatever. Looking down the grid, we have Hansa on pole, Luke Manali in second, and ERT Wizard on third place. Nike Donner starting at the back after unfortunately missing that first race, with Belin and Olegna directly in front of him. We'll have to see just how these guys race through the field from the back, as it is a very difficult track to overtake people. But looking at the lights, we're underway for that first race. Hansa leads from pole position, however Lookman getting a very nice start, maybe possibly challenging Hansa for that first place. Wizard also looking to challenge early on. But currently Lookman as Fabuki running wide there, not sure if there was any contact or anything, but Fabuki unfortunately moving down into 10th place. Hansa currently holding first place, and Hubi actually looking down the inside, and Hubi claiming first place right now, swooping round the outside of Hansa there. And a brilliant start there from Hubi, who's already gained about 5 positions. Absolutely fantastic there. When everyone else has only gained about 1 or 2, Hubi's really capitalised on every single person making mistakes and has moved up into first place. Fantastic job there from Hubi. As in fact, another person who's done a fantastic job is Belin and Nike, both of them gaining an absolute ton of positions, as Nike trying to look around the outside. In fact, he just broke a little bit too late for the corner, which has allowed Olegna through into that 6th place. With Olegna trying to look for a move on Belin, he knows he's got to look for a move early, as Belin in that first race was easily able to break away. As very close racing between this train of 4th to 7th position. Hansa now getting slightly involved. Hubi and Wizard breaking away from Hansa ever so slightly on this first lap. And Apex Predator closing up to Hansa very fast. It's going to be difficult to look for any sort of overtaking move with such a gap to Hansa. However, the gap closing rapidly down this main straight. Now down to 2 attempts. Apex Predator deciding to brake early and just tuck back in behind. Waiting to see if he can get a good exit and move his way cleanly up into that 3rd position and trying to break away himself. We saw earlier Hansa did make a few mistakes on that sprint race, and in fact Apex Predator looking to go all the way down the inside, which turns to the outside, and now he's going all the way around the outside of a hairpin. And Apex Predator up into 3rd place, but fighting Belin for that 3rd, has the inside line for this next corner, as unfortunately Hansa moving all the way down into 7th from that fight. But Apex Predator currently holding 3rd place. Looking ahead though, we have Hubi and Wizard going side by side into that hairpin, and Wizard possibly claiming that 1st place. No, Hubi's got a slightly better exit and will have that inside line for this next corner. So Hubi still holding on to 1st position. Fantastic stuff there from Hubi, as Wizard did have a look going into the hairpin but wasn't quite able to make anything work there, and Hubi holds on to 1st place right now. However, Wizard really right on the rear of Hubi and challenging him every single corner, really piling the pressure on there. As we'll have to see if Wizard are able to look for any sort of move going on to this start-finish straight. Hubi getting a slightly tighter run, but Wizard carrying a lot more speed onto this main straight. We'll see if Hubi defends that inside line, which is the preferred line going into this corner, but Wizard looking down that inside. And Hubi going to be around the outside here. Wizard with that better line is able to claim 1st position. And there was nothing Hubi could do there, but now Hubi can challenge back. Will he look down the inside here? He decides not to just yet, decides better of it. And Wizard moves up into 1st place. A lovely little move there from Wizard, just carrying more speed around that final 2 corners, which allowed him so much overspeed going onto the main straight and easily to look down the inside of Hubi, who now moves down into 2nd place and has already lost the slipstream of Wizard. So Wizard clearly with quite a bit of pace here, maybe a tyre advantage. We'll just have to see what happens later on in this race. The pack behind Hooby definitely closing up every single corner. The gap down to about 7 tenths now, maybe 6 tenths, as they reach the final sector of the track. As Wizard slowly breaking away from this pack. He's got about a 1.6 second gap now to Hooby, who hasn't been doing great through that final 2 corners. However, getting a decent exit out of there and maybe able to fend off Apex Predator behind for another lap, as he will have an easy time going into turn 1, as Apex Predator unable to challenge from that distance back. However, the gap's definitely closing there, with Alegna still a little bit adrift off the rear of Bellin in 4th place. So the fight for second is definitely currently between Hooby, Apex Predator and Bellin right now. Very close between all of them. As we're not in fact sure what tyre compounds people are using. We're expecting Wizard to be on those medium compound tyres, as he is breaking away from Hooby, something he wasn't able to do in the sprint race. However, looking back here, could we see Bellin looking for a move on Apex Predator? He's gone down the inside here. However, Apex Predator with a nice run out of the corner, and Bellin gonna have to tuck back into the slipstream of Apex Predator and follow him through. Apex Predator just braking a little bit too late going into that hairpin, which allowed Bellin a little bit of a look. However, Apex Predator with a better exit out of the corner, able to fend off the position, but Bellin still looking for a move, now looking down the inside of a very unorthodox place, but backs out of it, and Alegna now very close to the rear of Bellin. Things are really heating up here. 3 tenths separating Apex Predator and Bellin, and 4 tenths separating Alegna and Bellin. So Alegna really piling the pressure onto Bellin, with Bellin piling on the pressure to Apex Predator, with Apex Predator piling on the pressure to Hooby. All of them in that massive train right now. Things are really going to get interesting here. As while we watch this train, I do just want to thank everyone that has been watching these streams. I feel like at some point in the race, we do have to say it, this series would be nothing without you guys watching just how these races unfold. Whether you're a consistent watcher who comes every week, but cutting back to Apex Predator for a second, he's got a little bit of lag going on, but currently he's gone down the inside of Hooby, and Hooby unable to defend the position. A little bit of contact between the two of them. However, Hooby with a better line going into this next corner, may be able to fend off Apex Predator, and Hooby with a much better line going through those corners. Able to hold on second position, really been defending very well there. Has ERT Hooby. Still holding on to that second position. The fight here is immense. Everyone trying to look for some sort of move. However, no one has really been able to pull one off here. Apex Predator now trying to look down the inside of Hooby, going around this penultimate corner, but not able to do so. However, he may have a better run going onto this start-finish straight. Alegna dives into the pits early on lap 6. Very interesting here, but now Apex Predator looking down the inside of Hooby. And Apex Predator may have the move done on Hooby. Hooby trying to hold it around the outside, however unable to do so. And Apex Predator moves up into second, and Bellin now challenging Hooby for third. Bellin down the inside, he's going to have the better line going through this next corner, and he's already made the move work, moving up into third place. Hooby unfortunately losing 2 positions there in a matter of 2 corners. However, he can be very proud knowing that he's put up an absolutely unpenetrable defence for so many laps. But now Wizard is the next one ahead for Apex Predator and Bellin. However, 4 seconds ahead. They've got some work to do before they can come anywhere close to them. Hobie with his Giovinazzi impression. I love that, TJ Deacon. That is the best analogy I have seen all day long. For those of you who don't know, it's essentially Giovinazzi was the train conductor of the last Formula 1 Grand Prix, with his massive train for so many laps, holding up the likes of, I believe, Norris, Perez, I'm not 100% sure who else, however, he had an absolute train behind him and was holding up so many drivers. And Hobie seemingly doing a similar thing. We can definitely see Hobie on those hard compound tyres though, as he has been struggling for pace a little bit in comparison to the others around him. However, one man not struggling for pace right now is ERT Alegna. We'll have to see just what sort of lap time he can do on this lap. His first lap that isn't his out lap. I don't know what it's called. We'll have to see if he's able to set a faster lap than Wizard, who currently has the fastest lap with a 1:37.777. A lovely number to say there. We'll cut to, not that camera, to bonnet camera. And we'll see what Alegna able to do around this track. He's definitely closing up on Wizard, as you can see from the delta to the leader going down throughout the entirety of the lap. The gap has decreased by about half a second throughout this lap so far to the leader. However, Alegna with a bit of a spin there. A very uncharacteristic mistake there from Alegna, just clipping the grass and losing the rear there. And losing so much time. Very unfortunate there for Alegna, who clearly I need to stop watching, as I've just absolutely commentators cursed. We'll quickly see if we can catch that on the replay. As, no, we can't. I've had an error. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. We'll see if we can come back real quick.